Democrats to try to fix seats. That would only cancel out what Texas is doing, but Republican-led states, including Florida, Ohio, Missouri, and Indiana, will or are considering redrawing their own lines, and Democrats don't control enough states or have enough districts to pick up to counter that. So, given that math, why go through with trying to bypass the independent?
Well, these guys are ruthless on the other side, so I concur. That said, we can control what we can control. It's not what happens, it's what we do in response to what happens. Here's what we can do in response. There's other states that can act not dissimilarly to California, but none can act, I guess, with the scale and scope that we can. So that would be my response. It's always the right thing to do the right thing. It's always the right time to do the right thing. And our response is what we can control, and we can encourage others through the power of emulation to consider the approach that we've taken based upon their unique circumstances. Most states don't have independent redistricting. Many states have supermajorities in their legislature. There are a number of other states, as you know, that are considering democratically led states and not just Republican-led states that are considering similar actions, but we're not going to unilaterally disarm. We're not going to allow them to roll us over, and at least we will have the power of expressing ourselves very powerfully that everything they did in Texas, all the fire and fury, signified nothing. That we neutralized it. We nullified that. We don't move unless they move. This is triggered. They drew first blood. We're responding to this action. And this is how we choose to respond, and I hope other governors and other leaders across the country do the same.
Last question. In the hypothetical, if it is triggered and voters do not approve it, is there a backup plan? Is there a plan B if Texas moves?
I think the voters will approve it. I think the voters understand what's at stake. Look, I'm not naive. We live in the most un-Trump state in America. And I think people understand, boy, do they understand, intimately understand what's at stake with Donald Trump. What more evidence you need today, a couple days ago, with a Penske truck where people just jumped out, racially profiling people. Look at what just happened at UCLA. What more evidence do we need? And so I think I have all the confidence in the world of the wisdom of the voters of this great state. And I'm not just talking about Democrats. I'm not just talking about independents. We believe in independent redistricting. That will be on the ballot. We believe it should be nationalized. That will be on the ballot. We have the opportunity to send a message enough. And I believe Republicans, not just Democrats and independents, will meet that call, and we will overwhelmingly support this change.
Thank you. We're out of time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Governor Gavin Newsom addressed concerns about potential gerrymandering by Republican-led states such as Texas, Florida, Ohio, Missouri, and Indiana. He acknowledged that while California's actions might not entirely offset the redistricting efforts of these states, it remains important to respond decisively. Newsom emphasized that California has both the scale and capacity to take meaningful steps, even if other states cannot act on the same level. He reiterated his belief that it is always the right time to stand on principle, stressing that California will control what it can and encourage others to follow suit. By leading through example, he hopes to inspire other states to consider adopting similar measures based on their circumstances. Newsom pointed out that many states do not have independent redistricting systems and that legislative supermajorities often make reform more difficult. Firmly rejecting the idea of unilateral disarmament, he framed California's move as a necessary counteraction, describing it as a direct response to Republican actions in Texas. According to him, Texas drew first blood, and California's approach is designed to neutralize and nullify those efforts. When asked about the possibility of voters rejecting the measure, Newsom expressed confidence in public support. He believes that voters, Democrats, independents, and even some Republicans, understand the stakes, particularly in the context of former President Donald Trump's influence and recent incidents that highlight political and social divisions. Newsom sees the upcoming vote as an opportunity to send a clear national message in favor of independent redistricting, asserting that it is an essential step toward protecting democratic integrity.